Hey everybody, it's David Pingree. We're out here at Milestone today to ride our latest project, the Husqvarna TC125 that's got a retro Pro Circuit look. For those who don't know, Mitch Payton's Pro Circuit race shop was originally just for Husqvarnas, and in the early 1980s he had guys like Bill Keefe and Andy Jefferson riding for him on bikes that looked similar to this, but obviously a little different back in '81. So this is sort of a nod to that era and those bikes. Obviously Husqvarna is coming onto the American racing stage in a big way, and we're excited to ride their new bike and also show some of the old Pro Circuit colors. As you can see, Mitch dug out one of his old jerseys for me. It's kind of a schmedium, but it's all we had, so I said I'd run it. So we're going to go get out on the track and have some fun with this thing. Gotta go easy. I crash in this helmet, I'll be retarded. So on this project, we started at Pro Circuit and had Mitch go through the engine. He did some basic cleanup of the ports, a little polishing on the heads, just basic engine work, nothing too drastic. He also added, obviously, one of his Pro Circuit pipes and silencers to that, which is, his two-stroke stuff is amazing. It always sharpens up the bike, broadens out the power, and really brings the bike to life. From there, we had Pro Circuit also go through the suspension. Bones has some really cool stuff that they've been doing there at Pro Circuit with the WP suspension, so gave us all his full works on that. The wheel set is from RAD Manufacturing, and we coupled their hubs and spokes with Excel rims. And this color, the old gold is kind of what they ran back in the early 80s, so these were buried back in the warehouse. They're kind of hard to find, but luckily we got a set of these old gold Excel rims. They work awesome, so really stoked to have those. And we mounted up some Dunlop Geomax tires onto that, the MX32, which is tire of choice these days. The guys from DeCal Works, we worked pretty extensively with them trying to get this to look like a modern version of those old '81 TC250s, and they did a great job. Thanks to MotoSeat as well for putting together the seat for us. Renthal provided our bars, sprockets, chain, grips, and that type of thing. Again, we've got some Works connection parts, bits and pieces just to polish it off and make it look nice. And our last touch to this machine was the folks at Renegade Racing Fuel gave us some rocket fuel to put in this thing, and just really brings it to life. Kind of gives you that crisp throttle response and bumps up your power numbers a little bit. So thanks to those guys. Obviously, anytime you're running a two-stroke, if you can get some good leaded fuel like the guys at Renegade have, it helps a lot. The guys at DeCal Works did some digging around and created this old-school Pro Circuit logo. This is the exact logo he used to run back in the early 80s. And we did try calling this 714 number, and it is not in service. I don't know whose number that is, but that will not get you to Pro Circuit anymore. All right, we just came in from putting some time on this hot rod, and lots of fun. I don't know, it took me a little while to get used to riding a two-stroke again. It's just a whole different animal, You're constantly shifting, come flying into turns, you got no engine brake to help, so it does take a little while to get it figured out. But once I got comfortable, started having a lot of fun. The engine on this thing is super fun. It actually picks right up really quickly. I thought it would have that lag, especially on a 125 that you get, but it was a lot of fun, picked right up. And, you could just throw it around into corners and stuff. It's really just a lot of fun to ride. You try to jump in with some 250Fs and race, and it doesn't work that good. You're definitely going to go slower on this than a 250F, but I think the idea is not to go win nationals. It's just to have a good time and have a fun bike to ride. So it definitely did that. The suspension worked really good for me, thanks to Bones and those guys. We did change the jetting a little bit. a little richer on the main jet, leaner on the pilot. Thanks to Donk from Husqvarna for coming out and helping us with that. Stiffen the suspension a little. That was about all we did to it. You know, other than that, this thing is just pour some fuel in and go. Had a lot of fun. Thank you to everybody involved with this project. If you haven't ridden a two-stroke in a while, you should do it. It's good times. I look like a total fat ass in this helmet. Need the Jofa mouth guard and block the rocks, Warty style.